So yeah, hello everyone, welcome to Bert the Blue Engine Character Fridays. So today, in this episode, we'll be taking a look at Gordon. Now, basically, if you should know by now, I'm going in number order for the characters, so that means that generally, next Friday, you can expect to see James. But anyways, one thing I should mention is that I decided to change up the intro a bit for how I start these episodes just a bit, if that makes sense. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Now basically it's time to give you some little facts about Gordon that you already know. The first fact being is that he was one of the first three characters introduced in the Railway series, and one of the first three characters we actually get to see in Thompson. I don't know, it's like hard to say, but yeah. But pretty much he debuted in the Railway series, and with basically I'm just gonna say the characters he was with. He debuted in the Railway series along with Edward and Henry, which we looked at in previous episodes of this series. And Gordon actually debuted in the TV show in the very first episode. That episode being Thomas and Gordon, or Thomas Gets Tricked, whichever version you see the title as. And yeah, like I said, now let's talk about the model right here that I have. And this model right here of Gordon is the Trackmaster 2 one, of course, as you can see. And this is my main Gordon that I use. That's why I detail his buffers, although they're starting to come off a bit. And that's why I painted his running board. And just like with Edward and Henry, I originally painted Gordon. I originally colored Gordon's back and the front of his tender with a Sharpie marker. So I had to paint over them to be blue again. But yeah, I think they turned out well. And give me a second. So sorry about that. I just had a couple of Gordon's tender again. And yeah, like I said, overall, one thing I should mention is that two things I want to mention is that this wasn't the actual Gordon that I used to use at first. Before I actually used to use a different Trackmaster 2 Gordon, but I decided to retire that Gordon because on the tender the details started to come off. And fun fact, that Gordon that used to be the main Gordon that I used, which was Trackmaster 2 Gordon, is now my cousin Bert that you see in Random Thomas Shenanigans. And yeah, another thing I should mention is that I actually do have an old Trackmaster Gordon, but the reason why I don't use him and the reason why I use the Trackmaster 2 Gordon is because my old Trackmaster Gordon unfortunately doesn't work anymore. And speaking of my old Trackmaster Gordon, I actually made him in the Croven. But yeah, anyways, yeah. But either way, I like this Gordon either way, even though he may be one of the few Trackmaster 2 characters that I have in the Steam team. I still like him for who he is and what he is, if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, stay tuned for episode 5, where we'll be taking a look at James. Anyways, that's pretty much all I want to say. So anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and bye everyone. Bye.